Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Sauce. Things on the NBA front have been great. Up over 6 units already. Playoffs just started, already up 6 units. Couldn't be happier, but we're just getting started. In this video, we got Game 2, Philadelphia versus Toronto. Philly obviously took the first game by 20 points. Let's talk about Game 2, though.
Welcome to The Sauce. The Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
All right, Toronto on the road in Philadelphia here. The line is Philly -7, and everyone's on the Sixers early. I'm talking about 93% of the money on Philly. This is as of midnight last night. But check it out. The books react to that Philly money. They move the line from 7 up to 7.5. When it hits 7.5, though, here comes some Toronto money creeping in. It's up to about 35% of the money on Toronto now. We're still looking at Philly -7.5. All right, instead of a spreadsheet in this video, we're going to look at the team stats from Game 1. And you can see Philly didn't dominate this game statistically like I thought they did. Assists, rebounds, turnovers, none of those numbers were really a huge factor in this game. Philly won Game 1 based off 2 statistical categories, 3-point shooting and free throws. In fact, I did some quick math. If Toronto and Philadelphia both shot the same percentage from 3 and Toronto attempted the same amount of free throws as Philadelphia, then the Sixers only win that game by 1 point instead of 20. So right now you're probably like, yo, that's good news for Toronto. Law of averages, 3-point shooting and foul shots should swing the other way towards the Raps in this game, and we should see a close one that Toronto can probably win, right? Hold up, I'm not so sure about that. The reason for that is those 2 statistical categories happen to be 2 of the biggest weaknesses in this Raptors team. And obviously free throw rate and 3-point shooting, both pretty good numbers for the Sixers. They're actually number 1 in free throw rate. So I think it's safe to say the Sixers are going to dominate those 2 statistical categories this whole series. So how can the Raps beat this Philly team if they're going to get beaten those 2 statistical categories every game? Simple, the same way they've been beating teams all season: offensive rebounds and forcing turnovers. Here's the problem. Philly doesn't allow many offensive rebounds at all, and they don't turn the ball over often at all. Definitely a lot of analytical advantages for the Sixers, no doubt. I do want to mention a positive for Toronto. In Game 1, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris combined to go 23 of 35 with 64 points. Is that going to happen again? No, of course not. I seriously doubt those 2 guys are going to combine for 64 points again. But at the same time, James Harden and Joel Embiid combined to just go 11 for 32 with just 31 or 41 points between the 2 of them. Is that going to happen again? No, probably not. So yeah, Maxey and Harris may take a step backwards, but Harden and Embiid are bound to have a better game, especially bounce back after both of them have a poor Game 1. So in my opinion, that evens out. Ready for the icebreaker if you're a Raptors fan. Scottie Barnes, Gary Trent Jr. both most likely not playing. Well, Scottie Barnes has already been ruled out. Gary Trent Jr. did not participate in shoot-around. Scottie Barnes is one of their best rebounders and defenders, so that's a huge loss. Gary Trent Jr. is probably their best outside shooter. Probably their second best outside shooter. I'll take Van Vliet first, but huge losses. I mean, Gary Trent Jr. in a game where you're going to struggle to keep up with outside shooting, you're going to lose one of your best shooters. That's serious. The backbreakers for the Raptors here. As much as I'd love to fade Philly here, I like rooting against this team with Harden and Embiid and all the free throws. It's annoying, but they're just too good without Barnes, without Trent. I have to take the Sixers. Give me the Sixers -7.5. Let's do it. Final ticket posted on KyleKirms.com with the full ticket. I've been killing the NBA. You got MLB, tennis, NHL, all the sports. Posted right on KyleKirms.com and the Sauce Network app. Also, if there's any crazy last-minute changes, injury updates, money shift, line movement, anything like that, I will definitely keep you posted on my Twitter, Instagram story, and Facebook. So make sure you check one of those 3 platforms before you place your bets. More NBA playoffs. We just had a great weekend of basketball. Playoffs just getting started. I'm fired up. We're having a great time, and we're making some money. Let's make some more. I'll talk to you on Twitter.